All right, let's get started. We're about to go on an incredible journey inside your own head. Seriously, we're taking a grand tour of the most complex, most mysterious, and most personal object in the entire universe, your brain.
100 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's roughly how many neurons, brain cells, are packed inside your skull right now. Every single one of them is like a tiny computer, all working together. It's just a mind-boggling amount of power crammed into something that weighs only about 3 pounds.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the grand design, kind of the lay of the land. Then we'll zoom in on the thinking cap, the cerebrum. After that, we dive deep into your inner world of emotions and memories, check out the brain's engine room, and finally, meet the bodyguards that keep the whole operation safe.
All right, first stop on our tour, your brain's grand design. Let's get the lay of the land.
Okay, so the first thing you notice if you looked at a brain is that big split right down the middle, right? That gives us the two hemispheres, left and right. But here's the really wild part. It's all crisscrossed. Your left brain controls the right side of your body, and your right brain controls the left side. It's this strange, amazing piece of wiring that connects everything.
You know how brains always look, well, wrinkly? There's a brilliant reason for that. It's not just for looks. These folds are an evolutionary masterstroke. The ridges are called gyri, the grooves are sulci, and all this folding basically lets us cram a massive amount of brain power into a relatively small space. Think of it like crumpling up a huge piece of paper to fit it into a tiny ball. More surface area equals way more processing power.
Okay, let's dive into the main event, the thinking cap, the cerebrum. This is the big wrinkly part on top, and it's where all the high-level stuff happens. We're going to tour its 4 major lobes.
Right at the very front, behind your forehead, is the frontal lobe. This is, without a doubt, the CEO of your brain. It's the boss. It's in charge of planning, decision-making, stopping you from saying that thing you probably shouldn't say, impulse control. It's also where your personality lives. The frontal lobe is what makes you, well, you.
And if you want proof of how important the frontal lobe is, you have to hear the incredible story of Phineas Gage. This was the guy in the 1800s, a railway worker, super responsible, everyone liked him. Then a freak accident sent an iron rod straight through his skull and his frontal lobe. Miraculously, he survived, but he wasn't the same person. His friends literally said he was no longer Gage. He became impulsive, rude, a completely different personality. It was this shocking, real-world proof that our personality is physically located in that part of the brain.
Okay, moving back a bit, we hit the parietal lobe. I like to call this the navigator. It's constantly processing information from your senses, touch, pain, heat, cold, but it's also responsible for your spatial awareness. You know how you can touch your nose with your eyes closed? That's your parietal lobe. It's your body's built-in GPS, always knowing where you are in space.
Now over on the sides, right by your temples, you've got the temporal lobes. These are the archivists. They handle hearing, recognizing faces, and this is a big one, memory. The hippocampus, which we'll get to, is tucked inside here. And get this, the part that processes smell is also right here. Does that make sense now, why a certain smell can just instantly transport you back to your grandmother's kitchen? That's your temporal lobe at work. So when it comes to language, it's not just one spot. It's a team effort between 2 key areas. You've got Broca's area, which is like the mouth of the speaker. It's responsible for producing speech, getting the words out. Then you have Wernicke's area, which is like the ear of the listener. It's all about understanding the language you hear. You need both to have a conversation.
All right, all the way at the back of your head is the occipital lobe. This part of the brain is a total specialist. It has one job and one job only, vision. That's it. It takes all the raw data flooding in from your eyes and turns it into the world you see. Shapes, colors, motion, everything. It's literally the movie screen inside your head.
So, we have the left brain and the right brain both doing their own thing. How on earth do they coordinate? Well, through this incredible structure, the corpus callosum. Think of it as a massive information superhighway, a bundle of millions of nerve fibers connecting the two halves. It's what lets your left and right brain talk to each other, ensuring they work as one seamless team.
Okay, we've toured the outside. Now it's time to go deeper. We're moving into the inner world of the brain, the part that handles all our emotions, memories, and our basic experience of life.
Welcome to the limbic system, your brain's emotional core. Let's meet 2 of the stars here. First, the amygdala. This is your threat detector. That gut-wrenching jolt of fear you get from a sudden loud noise, that's your amygdala screaming, "Danger!" And its neighbor is the hippocampus, the memory maker.
Its job is to take what's happening right now and decide if it's important enough to save as a long-term memory.
And if you want to understand just how vital the hippocampus is, you have to know about patient HM, Henry Molaison. To stop his terrible seizures, doctors removed his hippocampus. The result was profound. He could remember everything from before the surgery, but he was completely unable to form any new long-term memories. Imagine that. He'd do the same crossword puzzle every day, and it was always new to him. His story is a heartbreaking but powerful lesson on how we build the story of our lives.
So with all this information coming in from your eyes, your ears, your skin, how does it get to the right department? It all goes through the thalamus. This is the brain's grand central station, or maybe its switchboard operator. Almost every piece of sensory data stops here first, and the thalamus directs it to the right place in the cortex to be processed. It's unbelievably busy.
All right, let's go even deeper now, down to the absolute core. We're heading into the brain's engine room. This is where the life support systems are, the parts that keep you running 24/7 without you ever having to think about it.
This is the brainstem, and honestly, it's the most fundamental part of your brain. It connects to your spinal cord and runs the show. At the very bottom, you've got the medulla oblongata. It's in charge of your heartbeat, your breathing, the stuff you absolutely cannot forget to do. Then you have the pons, which is like a bridge connecting things, and the midbrain, which handles basic reflexes. This is pure, non-negotiable life support.
And tucked away at the back, underneath the main cerebrum, is the cerebellum. Its name means little brain, and let me tell you, it is an absolute powerhouse. This is the master of coordination and balance. You ever wonder how you can ride a bike without thinking about it, or play a song on the piano? That's muscle memory, and that's the cerebellum's domain. It makes all your movements smooth, graceful, and automatic.
Okay, last stop on the tour. Let's talk about the brain's bodyguards, the amazing systems in place to protect this incredibly important organ.
So, the brain has this multi-layer security system. Layer 1, obviously, is your skull, a hard, bony helmet. But that's not all. Inside that, you have 3 layers of tough membranes called the meninges. And then, the brain is literally floating in this special liquid, the cerebral spinal fluid. It acts as a cushion, a shock absorber, and it delivers nutrients and takes out the trash. It's an incredible design.
So after this whole tour, after seeing all these specialized parts, I have to tell you the most amazing thing of all. This map? It's not set in stone, not even close. Your brain is constantly physically changing. Every time you learn something new, every experience you have, it rewires the connections between your neurons. This incredible ability is called brain plasticity. It's how you learn, how you adapt, how you grow.
And that's the real takeaway here. The person you are right now isn't a finished product. Because your brain can change, you can change. Every single day, your thoughts and actions are sculpting the physical structure of your brain, which leads to one final, kind of mind-blowing question to leave you with. If your brain is constantly changing, who will you become tomorrow?